The PGA Tour has been wrestling with the Saudi-backed LIV tournament since it was announced. Even though they've tried everything from threats to incentives, they just lost another top player to their rivals. Brooks Koepka became the latest to jump ship and ditch the PGA. But why did he do that? In this video, we'll be taking a look at what happened, so stay tuned. First off, what's happening in the golf world with PGA versus LIV fight? Everyone knows about the tussle between the veteran PGA Tours, which basically controls the sport, and the new Saudi-backed LIV tournament that's been going on for a few months. With Great White Shark Greg Norman at the helm, it's been causing a few troubles for the league that used to be the big man in golf. Players keep on ditching them to join the new crowd, mostly because of the much larger prize money they're offering. It's easy to see why they'd be flustered. The PGA Tour was to golf what the NBA and NFL are to basketball and football, so seeing their authority shaken up pushed a few buttons. The tour commissioner Jay Monahan even went as far as to threaten to ban players if they applied to leave to play in the new tournament earlier this year. This only gave Greg Norman fodder to accuse him of bullying when the LIV only wanted peaceful coexistence. Then came the Phil Mickelson drama that made headlines for weeks, where he basically called the Saudis murderers, but pointed out how players needed the leverage a new competitor gave. And we can see where that came from. Before LIV, no league could threaten the PGA, and now several top 50 players have defected, including Brooks Koepka. Next up, how Brooks Koepka dropped hints he was ditching the PGA Tour for the LIV tournament. Rumors started flying around that the four-time majors champion was one of the two latest players to ditch the PGA Tour, and the news was recently confirmed with an official announcement. Just around a week ago, Koepka expressed frustration because reporters kept asking him about the PGA versus LIV drama at the US Opens. He's a majors champion, and even if it's all anyone can talk about these days, it was probably annoying to get asked about it repeatedly. He said that he hadn't given it much thought and was tired of people talking about it all the time. The player went on to say that he was focusing on the US Open and didn't get why everyone kept asking him about it. He claimed that the reporters were throwing a black cloud over the Open because the golfers were there to play, but were being asked about an event that happened a week ago. But then, any mention of the PGA Tour disappeared from his Twitter profile, sparking rumors that he was officially joining them. It wasn't exactly surprising. His brother Chase had already signed with them, not to mention his longtime rival was just offered a $140 million deal, so it's natural he'd also want to go where the big prizes were. Third, how news broke that Brooks Koepka was officially joining the LIV tournament. Just a week later, Brooks Koepka was officially announced to have signed with the LIV tournament, effectively ending his PGA Tour career. What's more, the news came in the middle of Commissioner Jay Monahan's press conference, where he was announcing changes to keep players loyal to the PGA. His move sent a lot of people talking, because some critics were saying that the LIV only had players who were either has-beens or not good enough, with the cream of the crop still with the PGA. The news turned the tables as the former number one and rising star Abraham Answer, among others, joined the other side. Greg Norman released a statement regarding the move, saying that there was no denying Koepka's impact on golf in the past 5 years. He continued that Koepka has a championship pedigree and was one of the elite players in the world. Norman reiterated that Brooks joining the LIV was another example of the momentum they were building in the first season and preparing for the future. Koepka joining means that among the other top 50 players, he's the second highest ranked at number 19, a few numbers behind Dustin Johnson at number 16. Finally, how the world number 1 and number 2 reacted to Koepka leaving the PGA Tour. The current number 2 golf player, Rory McIlroy, had words to say about Brooks Koepka's sudden move to the LIV tournament. He called the player duplicitous. Now that's a big word to use. He said in an interview that he was surprised by the sudden news because of what Koepka had said previously at the Opens. He claimed that he didn't understand why so many players were saying one thing and doing the other. He wondered if it was for legal reasons, but just ended up by saying he had no idea. Scotty Scheffler, the number 1, also claimed that it was unexpected. He said that just a week ago they had been discussing how to keep the players at the PGA together and that he hadn't had a move to the LIV on his mind at the time. They were discussing how to benefit the PGA, but he ended by saying that he respected Koepka's decision and that he wouldn't judge him for it. Now, in other golf news. First up, how Phil Mickelson contributed to breaking up golf. Professional golf has been at its breaking point for quite some time now. Though it may seem like Phil Mickelson has done most of the work, one player can't destroy a professional sport. So it's only right to assume that cracks have been forming with others as a catalyst, taking years to make the point that they are noticeable. But this won't change the fact that many would blame Phil for this rupture. He used to be an arrogant man with words and ideas that put him in the center of everything. Despite this, after the end of his 4-month exile, when he was seen again, he had lost all of his arrogance and rudeness. He appeared sporting a beard and wearing all black. Instead of adding fuel to the fire like he once would have, this version of Phil seems to be trying to avoid further problems. At the US Open news conference, he said everyone had their own opinion and was entitled to this right. He then said that he understood if people were against him joining the LIV Golf, as it probably brought out many strong emotions. He would still respect how they felt about it, even if they were against him. Next up, Rory McIlroy shows exactly why he's a top top player. Rory McIlroy is yet again living up to his name. The famous golf player has got the world talking about him despite everything that has been happening lately, with his strong start at the US Open. On just day one, he has already displayed an impressive display of brilliance and frustration, depending on whether things went his way. When asked about the tournament, Rory said everything has to be extremely precise when playing in the US Open. The slightest mistake could put you up to a game-changing disadvantage. McIlroy said that when players get off to a good start, they feel like they're a part of the tournament right from the beginning of the week. When you go to the field, instead of telling yourself that you have to keep going if you want to win, you start to ask yourselves what it would take to stay in the competition and how much more you have to play to be safe from elimination. It seems like the fan favorite is off to a good start and is confident that he will be able to keep up and maybe even win the US Opens. Finally, DP World and PGA Tour are trying to strengthen themselves to fight the LIV tournament. A new Saudi-funded LIV Golf tournament has been introduced. The second tournament will be taking place this week, but it seems like DP World and PGA Tours do not like competitors and have taken it upon themselves to solve this problem. DP World and PGA Tours have just recently strengthened their partnership to combat their new rival. This step brings them both closer together till at the very least year 2035. People are now expressing their concern that this new tournament is here to stay, and the DP will likely take the brunt as they wrestle for the hearts of different players. Chief Executive Keith Pelley expressed that this latest deal will be a historic moment for both tours and golf fans. He further added that the partnership will lead to a lot of great strategic opportunities that will be mutually beneficial. The LIV tournament will take place on Thursday at Pumpkin Ridge in Portland, Oregon, and Keith has already confirmed that he has not permitted any of the DP World players to participate in the event. There are also discussions of punishment for those who decide to ignore this rule, including a $100,000 fine and ban from the Scottish Open, as well as tournaments in America. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Brooks Koepka made the right move? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.